There's a lot of bending the truth that I think we're going to reveal here today, ladies and gentlemen.
We begin, as always, at the beginning. Where were you born, Sean?
I was born in Harlem, New York.
And what is your mother's name?
My mother's name is Janice.
You said about your mother, she was always like the fly girl of the neighborhood. Is that how you remember her when you were a kid?
Yes, definitely. She was always, wearing furs and, dressing very glamorously. When she would leave, I would be trying on things, looking in the mirror, trying to just mimic her. But I was trying on my clothes. I wasn't trying. I wouldn't call it lies. It's a little bending of the truth.
What was your father's name?
My father's name was Melvin Combs.
How old were you when your father died?
I was 3 years old.
Can you remember him at all?
Anytime I would dream about him throwing me up in the air. And that's the only memory I have of him.
How was his death reported to you? What did they tell you had happened?
She told me that he died in a car accident.
How old were you when you learned the truth, the full truth?
As I was growing up, I was bumping into a lot of different street cats in the neighborhood, and they were always, saying, I knew your father, I knew your father. And I went to the library, and you could go through the microfilm, and I searched my father's name, and it came up that, they had called him a kingpin, in Harlem, and that he was killed, in Central Park West. He had got shot in his head, so that's how I found out about my father.
Ooh.
Gentlemen, I would like to introduce my mother, Janice Combs. I was the director of entertainment for Howard, and Howard needed a lot of entertainment.
Didn't they also have an internship policy?
No. That's kind of what I told my mother in order to do an internship. I said, Mom, at Howard, you have to have an internship if you're really doing it. And, I had this opportunity to work for this up-and-coming record company, Uptown Records, but I have to work for free, and I have to take 2 days off from school. I have to take the train from New York to D.C. every Thursday. And she was like, are you out of your mind? And I was kind of trying to really sell her that this was my dream and my vision.